pretty good idea. Well, I was raised in a highly communicating family environment as well, where nothing was really taboo. And I was welcome to open any kind of conversation, anytime as well, which is now affecting my environment because I will live at the same time, same zone. And literally middle of the night, early in the morning, I remember as a child or teenage child, I woke up my parents when I needed my question to be answered or had something bothering me, wanted to get out of my chest. And I was, as I said, I was always heard, and every old concern was solved. I still until this moment call my dad living encyclopedia, because I never heard one single time, I don't know from him. Never heard it. I don't even know if you can say that. So yes, the answer was there always for me, and that kind of built even more that inquisitiveness of mine, which kind of became my trademark. So is it because of the era that it was some year ago when I was a child, or do you think that there are still cases like that children have so much attention from the parents even in this hectic time?
I'm sitting and I'm listening to your story, and I'm saying, that is, that's wonderful, the experience that you were able to have, that you could satisfy your curiosity, and that there were people around you who heard you and were willing to do that. Does it still happen? I believe it does. I believe that parents who are open to listening, even if they're very busy, they still take the time to answer the questions, to provide the information that's needed. And all of that is wonderful. At the same time, though, is that there is often an expectation then for that child who then grows to be an adult to think everybody else in the world operates the same way.
Well, this is exactly, you just said something what I wanted to say, because you said it's great what kind of child I had and what, that I was heard. But, it affects your life, and you're growing up, and you're getting into different environments, and the expectation is still there.
Yes.
Or I maybe shouldn't call it expectation. I'm around different people, and the wanting, of being heard or talk to somebody is still there. But as we said, that people don't find time or even interest to do that anymore. So it might be now a disadvantage for me not to have those people around me, those kind of people around me, if you know what I'm trying to say.
Well, it's because this is familiar. When you talk of your trademark, you're familiar with this. And other people will not be as familiar because they were raised in a different environment. So, they can learn, however, it will still be unique for them, definitely. So it's unique for you and for them as well.
Well, let me say this example. I started this talk when I wanted to talk to somebody. When I have a conversation when two people are standing beside each other quiet, drives me crazy. Yes, we have to have the kind of peace for something, but not all the time, right? So when I say, I would like to talk, I'd like to have a conversation, and the answer was, choose a topic. So it was kind of unknown to me at this time.
So you were asked to choose the topic.
Yeah, exactly. Why do we have to choose
the topic, right? Why doesn't it just flow naturally, right?
Well, do you think that some people avoid communicating because there is a fear of potential confrontation?
There are many fears. Fear of potential confrontation, fear possibly that if I say something, it will not be correct, right? If somebody has more of a perfectionistic streak, that kind of thing. So there are many fears, I think, that hold people back from communicating effectively.
Well, I would say that any relationship requires communication. We've been talking about the relationship between, spouses. Do you see also parent-child?
I see more parents with teenagers. I don't see just small children in my practice, but teenagers, and then I also families, such as grown adults and siblings. That's another, grown siblings. Yes, great family.
Yeah, when you say teenagers, what I was actually aiming to was on a regular basis now we can witness issues between parents and the teenage children. I don't know, why do we have to see that lack of respect children would have for parents? At least that's how I see it.
Well, respect is very much about seeing an individual as an equal, even if they're different. And I know parents often have a difficult time. I mean, they have the knowledge, they have the experience, they have the wisdom. So it's very difficult for them to see their child or their teen as equal. However, my sense is that when people learn and develop the idea and realize the benefits of looking at another human being, no matter if that human being is younger, smaller, however, as equal, then the mutual respect does grow. However, it is a challenge. It is difficult. Yeah.
I know when you said mutual, obviously the children should have that respect as well.
Yes.
Yeah. But what I was trying to say that just the way how children approach parents. Maybe because I grew up in a different culture.
Yes.
Well, now what I see was there was definitely no.
Yeah.
So.
Well, there's the reason why I enjoy my work so much in relationships is there's the creativity that people have. The creativity of the human being in order to find one's place in the world. And teens are doing that as well.
So, stepping away from a bit, what are the areas of communication?
Areas meaning, you mean where do we find communication present? Communication in intimate relationships, communication in the workplace. I do a lot of work with individuals, having stress in the workplace. A lot of it has to do with communication with coworkers, communication between manager and employee, communication amongst friends, friendships, and I think that's probably it. Are there any others? I'm thinking of.
I think you said pretty much, yeah. I'm not testing you.
No, I'm
curious.
Good.
So do you think that should we individuals approach and communicate differently with one person than the other?
Yes, and as I say that, I say it with some qualifiers because I'm hearing individuals so often say to me, well, why can't I just be me? Why can't I just say what I want to say? I don't want to have to turn into a pretzel in order to satisfy your needs and how I speak with you. And that is understood as well. However, at the same time, I believe that we need to respect the uniqueness of each individual. And also to understand that because of the uniqueness in the recipient of the message, then I think we need to be unique and creative in how we give the message as well.
So that requires an intelligence. If we kind of recognize this.
Yes. Yeah. I guess what we would call it a social intelligence, and there again the empathy that we talked about earlier.
I have to mention this because I was interviewing a very interesting person, and he's going to appear on my show in late April. We talked about the relationship, and he said that to have intelligence is not enough. For all my long life, I thought that's enough. And he said that it's a knowledge. Important is the knowledge how to use the intelligence. Just to have it is not enough. Yes, and it was very interesting. And I think
that was helpful. How to use knowledge. Yeah. It depends on how
knowledge how to use intelligence.
Yeah. How to use it.
Yeah.
It depends too on how you define intelligence, because we know there's academic intelligence, there's social intelligence, there's emotional intelligence.
Yeah, that's topic for another hour.
At least.
So, I'd like to have an example in your in your office, and let's say you have a person storming to your office claiming that his wife aggravates him, children don't meet his expectation, and on top of that, co-workers irritate him on a regular basis. So I know you need to remain as tactful as possible. How would you approach that kind of issue?
I would want to understand, first of all, what is the true message here. Those are examples of how he's feeling. I would want to hear from him, first of all, what is that like for him? What is that experience like for him to be experiencing that? And the anger that he's feeling, the disappointment that he's feeling, the hurt that he's feeling, and be able to talk about that, because those are important aspects as to what's happening for him. And whether or not he may also be creating those circumstances for himself. Might he be communicating in a way that could possibly initiate a certain response from somebody else, such as his partner, such as his children, such as his co-workers? Might he be? And so I trust that in a very respectful and sensitive way, that I would help him to explore that possibly there is something that he may be creating in this situation. Because when he understands that he's creating something here, then he also has the power to make it different if that's what he wants.
Yeah. Interesting. And as again, not one session.
Not one session.
That's for sure. Dr. Gloria McArter, we're going to be with you right after this break.